Now, I woke up today in a pretty good mood, and then I saw the steaming pile of crap on our roast channel on Discord. And now here I am, ready to do what I do best. It's roast time. Let's do this. Oh, I can't believe I forgot to buy a bloody mouse. If only there was a Champion Series gaming mouse that I could pair with my brand new Corsair K70 RGB TKL keyboard.
Excuse me, there is the new Corsair Sabre RGB Pro Champion Series gaming mouse. Built for and tested by top esports professionals.
Where's that voice coming from?
With an 18,000 DPI optical sensor, capable of up to 8,000 Hz hyperpolling and ultra-responsive quick-strike buttons. Pair it with that keyboard of yours and you too can hang out with the pros.
Really?
Well, not you, Andy.
Oh.
But everyone else can. Click the link in the description to find out more.
So as always, I need to put the disclaimer on here that this video is all in the name of entertainment and should be treated as such, and consequently, if you get butthurt by the comments, you only have yourself to blame. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, let's crack on with the roasting. So first up we have Iron Iro. Yeah, let's go with that. Who sent in 2 pictures, apparently taken by his Xiaomi Redmi Note 8T. I mean, you do know you can turn that off in your pictures, right? Either way, he has a desk that looks like it's from the 90s. I mean, no, wait, that's too generous. Late 80s, if anything. I'm also a bit confused as to whether this desk is in his kitchen or his kitchen is in his office with an old school coffee pot and what looks to be some other kind of home appliance next to his setup. Either way, it's a little bit odd. Now, another thing I kind of always see, and this is no different, is again, mismatched monitors, which don't line up either, and I mean, the frankly terrible background images. It's like you want me to hate on you. Also, as always, and I've come to expect this after doing these roast videos, but there's just way too many icons going on, and if you actually, I don't know, organise them a little bit, it would just make things look a lot better. And the weirdest thing with the icons is all of them Adobe applications. Literally looks like you have every single piece of software that Adobe has ever made. Now the PC, from a first glance, well, it looks okay until you go inside. And while it, I guess, does look okay, I do have a couple of concerns. The first being the LED strip that is, well, it's just frankly in your face. I mean, you do realise you're meant to hide them and they're kind of meant to let off, you know, a nice glow. You're not meant to kind of have direct line of sight to them. And the next thing being the SATA cables. At least go and buy some black ones. I mean, they're not exactly expensive, but everyone seems to fall for this. We had this in the last roast video. Really nice looking thing, bright red SATA cables. Sort it out. Next up is Chrissy H, who has what I can only describe as the ugliest desk I've ever seen. I mean, the style of it, well, that looks okay, but it's green. I've never seen a green desk before, and technically there are actually 2 of them. I mean, it does look to be a little bit like an IKEA special, but yeah, with all that room on there, you'd expect a kind of PC to be sitting pride of place, but instead it's just shoved into the corner on the floor out the way for no one to see it. Now, like most setups I've seen, there's, well, frankly crap everywhere and cables just all over the place. I can actually see a microphone off to the side, but I do fear that it's actually going to be a bit too far away for anyone to hear you, though if they could hear anything, it would probably be your setup weeping at how ugly it is. Now, we do actually have another one who ended up buying 3 different monitors of varying sizes, and well, it actually looks like one of them is sat on top of a box to try and line it up. I mean, you know, way to stay classy. Also, next to one of the monitors, we do have a box of Kleenex because, I mean, of course we do. It's not like you're submitting pictures to feature on a YouTube channel or anything, are you? I mean, yeah, I guess you are. You didn't really think this one through now, did you? Chrissy also sent in some pictures of the rig itself, which is kind of full on Asus with the case, the power supply, the AIO, the motherboard, and then went for an EVGA graphics card. I mean, way to be consistent there, Chrissy. Now, one thing about this whole setup that is bugging the hell out of me is the black fan at the back. You have this lovely white build with, you know, the white AIO from Asus, and then you've just ruined it with a generic looking black fan at the back. I mean, I kind of feel like the whole rig has been let down just because of that one thing. Next up, we have SG8berg 1720. I'm sure that spells something, but I ain't got a clue. Who, well, they kind of missed the memo completely by not showing us any pictures of his setup at all. Instead, he just showed us quite a few pictures of the build. So I'm sure he's really proud of that. Now, let's bring him down a peg or two. So Cable wise, it's tidy-ish at the back, but in all honesty, you would have been a lot better with some eTeknix cable ties available at store.eteknix.com. Shameless plug, I know, but you should be used to this by now. Now, the cables at the front are okay, but I do feel like you could have maybe hid the AIO ones just a little bit better between the VRM heatsink and the memory. And also, I've got to ask, why do you have a formula board? I mean, you realise it has a VRM channel for custom loop cooling and, well, you're not utilising it at all because you've got an AIO. Also, based on the specs that you sent in, you're running, as I mentioned, a formula board from Asus, which retails for kind of well over $400. And then you've put 16 gig of 3200 megahertz memory and an i5 processor in it. I mean, it just doesn't make sense, but you know, whatever makes you happy, I guess. Also, what is with the stickers on the SSDs? I mean, they just, in my opinion, which is obviously what matters, it makes it look cheap and tacky. And again, looking at what I can see in the rear of the case, you definitely do need some cable ties to sort out that kind of rat's nest behind it. I mean, it's no wonder that you didn't send in any other pictures of the setup. Now, I did wish, just once, that we did have some more pictures to show off, but kind of after looking at this and trying to analyse it a little bit more, it looks like there's a spillage at the front of the desk and what looks to be kind of a bit like a melted cable at the rear going to the PSU. So in all honesty, I don't think I actually need to see any more. It's pretty damn terrible on its own. Lastly, we have Zen, and I'll be honest, I've been kind of struggling with this one, as this actually probably is the cleanest setup we've had on here yet. I mean, this is super clean, maybe even too clean. I've got to ask, did you ever watch that program Dexter with Michael C. Hall? This setup is kind of how I'd expect his to be. Kind of creepy if you ask me. Now, one thing I don't like is the TKL keyboard. I need a number pad, that's just me. And the kind of weird connector that's coming from it. It would have looked much better if it was longer and actually hidden behind the desk. Also, I am struggling with the monitors, as the vertical one kind of makes the main monitor look smaller and frankly inferior. And well, the whole point of a vertical monitor, you know, for Discord and things like that, it should actually complement it more than take over it, if you know what I mean. Also, I see that you got the kind of little Intel i7 box just in shot, just to the left hand side. But you mentioned you have a Ryzen 9 5900X. So which one is it, Zen? Which one is it? Now, shortly after submitting these, he did actually send an updated picture, which kind of looks better with matching monitors for starters, which are, well, I think for the first time ever on a roast, they're actually lined up. But what is weird is the clock background on the third vertical monitor. Now, for those who don't know, that says 11:49 and 44 seconds. I mean, it's just a bit strange. Now, with this one, I'm actually going to give it a rating, and I was going to give it a solid 8 out of 10. But overall, it still has some kind of niggly issues, and I think a lot of people would consider it, I don't know, maybe to be quite bland. So instead, I'm going to give you 6.5. Yeah, 6.5 out of 10, I think. I think that's fair. So there we are, another roast done. We really did have the good, the bad, and the damn right ugly. Now it's up to you to guess which one's which. But let me know, can you do any worse? If so, head on over to our Discord and put up some pictures in the roast channel with some specs, and let me do what I do best. Either way, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, you know exactly what to do, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.